everybody duel a compass of your choosing, whichever side you like. Go ahead, yeah, just whenever you want. I'm watching.
Oh.
So I want you to do one side on your own, and then I'm going to read this, and then we're going to make some changes based on what we hear. If you're at home, do a compass on one side. Very good, Mr. Payne. Excellent. Good. Really good. I can tell you guys have been doing Tai Chi for a while.
Good teacher.
Thank you. We have good staff members here, good team. Okay, so that looks excellent. I'm going to read it. I think it's better if I just read it and you think about it, and then we'll integrate it. So, stand in the neutral position with the feet parallel and wider apart than shoulder width. Your breathing should be relaxed, continuous, and deep throughout the sequence. Toes turn in slightly, knees apart, focus body weight on the heels and outside edges. Distribute your weight evenly on each leg. Slow, he says pull the arms backward and up. We just sort of lift up. So there's a few little variations the way we do it. Slowly drop to the right at the waist, keeping the pelvis facing forward and relaxing the whole body. This is the key part. Let gravity do the work. This is a gravity stretch all the way through. So that gravity pulls the upper torso to its limit. Hold this position for 10 to 15 seconds. Note that the body is kept within a vertical plane. We'll talk about that in a second. The arms and fingers stretch out straight, and the body weight shifts slightly to the right leg. Why? Because I'm over to the right side. Slowly roll the waist a few degrees forward, allowing gravity to pull the torso down, bringing the arms into position close to the right leg. You should feel a stretching of the back of this leg as you hold this position for 15 to 20 seconds. Do not bend the knees as best you can. The arms and hands should form a spherical shape, and the fingers stretch towards each other with the palms facing down. However, the hands should not touch each other, nor should they touch the ground. So this isn't about, oh, look at me stretch my hamstrings. That's not it. And then you roll the waist forward, keeping the back flat and the arms parallel in front of the torso. Hold for 20 seconds. Do not arch the back. Breathe deeply. Do not hold your breath. Do not let the head or arms droop down. Keep the shoulders up. So that's just basically, you're here. So you don't want to do this. You don't want to do this. You just want to keep like a tabletop. View yourself in a mirror to see if your back is flat as in the side view, and distribute the weight evenly on each leg. Now, roll to the left, letting the arms and torso drop close to the left leg. You should feel a stretching in the back of the left leg. Again, fingers point towards each other with the palms facing down. Hold this for 15 to 20 seconds. And then you're going to roll the torso up to the left and to the back without raising it up. So basically, you're not going to come here and then here. You're going to come here to here. Does everybody see the difference there? The knees and legs can bend back slightly as in the side view, so be back here. Distribute the weight equally on each leg, and then roll the torso to the right, stretching the arms and fingers and shifting the weight to the right leg. After holding this position briefly, raise the torso and arms to begin to the starting position. So, key points, gravity. This is let gravity do the work. And then keep that tuck. So it's about connectedness that you're going to feel. And you can watch me do it, do the 360. So,
The question I had is, keeping the pelvis straight ahead have a tendency to want to.
it is a tendency, and it's just a matter of putting some mindfulness there to try to bend from your waist while keeping the hip bones for the most part, forward. I mean, they're gonna naturally shift a little bit, but I'm not doing this. You know, they stay here. It's my waist. See, it's about cultivating waist looseness. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, a couple of things. So, the reaching up. If I do this right, I don't have mirrors to check myself, so I'm just on a wing and a prayer here. So, I keep my tuck. What happens if I don't keep my tuck? See, well, let me go. I keep my tuck. When I lean this way, there shouldn't be any change here. If I don't have my tuck, I naturally want to tip forward a little bit. So, tuck, reach, lean. And in a perfect world, which I cannot check, I shouldn't be doing this, and I shouldn't be doing this. I should be in that vertical plane. I've got two walls behind me, on either side of me, and I lean between the two. Don't let this arm disconnect. That's another thing that happens is, oh look, I'm leaning. Look how far down I'm going. So it's here. Now, from here, keep the hips still. Turn my waist. See how I'm doing that? I'm turning my waist, but my hips haven't really moved. And then I start to get this thing happening. And this is what he means. I'm not trying to touch the floor. I don't have wilty fingers. I still have my tuck. If I came out of my tuck, I would lose it. So I'm not going to show you what that looks like. But that would just basically be bending over, touch your toes. This is different. So I'm feeling a stretch here, and I'm also feeling a connectedness here. And I feel that connectedness all the way down the other foot into my pinky. Now that's not a stretch, but I feel that connectedness. And from here, the reach forward, I should, if all things are told correctly, my legs are mostly straight, weight in the heels and outside edges of my feet. I'm not letting my head drop, I'm not letting my shoulders drop. I'm imagining being pulled through my fingertips as I shift my weight back. And then down to this side, again, waist, not hips. And then here's the interesting thing that might be missed, that roll. I'm not coming straight up, I roll straight to here. I'm still lifting through my chest, and I'm still keeping my shoulders down. I'm not shrugging. And then I roll out, and that just basically releases the spine, and then I can come back up to center. So did you get some different info with that at all?
Oh, yeah.
And it's okay if the answer is no. So
This is like that, so without the arms, we're doing this, we're here, and coming back here. And this side, and up,
yes,
okay.
yes.
The one I have to abbreviate is I have lumbago
Uh-huh.
and those vertebrae can shift it.
Okay.
I'd rather not do that as much as possible.
Yep.
It doesn't hurt. I don't want it to hurt.
Absolutely.
Smart man.
Absolutely. So listen to your body. I would think maybe reduced range, so you're not twisting so far down.
That's what I mean by
Yeah.
abbreviated.
Absolutely. So any of these Nei Kung postures, if you have a structural issue or an injury or something that you have to contend with, do not plow through that. So for compass, if I were trying to not rotate in my lumbar spine, I might, I'd be mindful and maybe to here, like, because I feel a rotation here, but I don't feel it down there.
It did help, I think, keeping my waist forward and only turning.
Uh-huh.
It seemed to at least be different.
And again, by keeping that tuck, that provides support and structure to the low back. It's not, if I didn't have that, there's a whole lot more wiggling and torque that happens in that part of my body. So tuck would be super crucial for you to just really support that part of your body. And then for home practice, what I might do is without the arms, just keep your hands here and kind of go through that rotation and see if you can feel where that is for you, to just kind of find out what your range is and what feels safe for you.
That feels pretty good.
Feels pretty good, right? So, because the arms are going to add some weight. So, but if you're just trying to check it out, like, is my low back okay? Where's my limit? I would keep that tuck, and then I would just kind of, like, because I'll feel the difference if I'm moving my waist versus my hip. I'll feel that with my hands back there. So you might play around with that.
Sure, thank you.
Uh-huh. Any questions? I mean, we have some time, but we'll go over a minute or two since I got out of here late.
When the hands are here,
Uh-huh.
we're going forward,
Yes?
okay? Let me see how the hips and the center is active. Okay.
And then from here, rotate down. Like I don't come here and then rotate here. I'm here and I rotate down. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does, thank you.
And then up, stay back. Wah.
I'm finding a lot of extra motion in
Uh-huh.
my hips when I'm doing that.
This was a big one for me too because it feels like, my hips should be moving, but like rhinoceros gazes at the moon, they stay pretty still and the rotation is in the torso and the waist, as best you can. Yeah, that looks good. So if you're home and you practice this, you can have somebody kind of pull when you're in that outward position, pull to get that sensation of pulling on your fingers, so that'll force you to put the weight back in the heels more. You'll get that push-pull feeling. So that's a good practice tip. We would do it here, but we're in the kind of touchy people. But that's really the best way to get that sensation, because you can be here and still kind of be mostly back. But then if somebody, one of us or a friend or a loved one comes and gently pulls on the fingers, you start to feel that extension where there's a reaching through the fingertips and a pushing back with the legs. And you can kind of check yourself to see if your back is flat.
Right. And I think that's one of my problems. When I
So,
do that, I kind
This
of
is
feel
good.
like,
I don't want, but I'm gonna, that's all right. That's flat.
aha,
And so, yeah.
aha, okay,
Different?
yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Okay.
Any last questions about compass? Yes, sir.
One last thing.
Sure.
You just went from straight up to the other leg. From here, when you go back up, the motion of the back and the
Uh-huh.
hips, is it there or am I too active in the hips?
That doesn't look too active. You'll just have to practice and play with it. I mean, obviously it does move a little bit, but it's waist on this axis more than hips on this axis. So I'm here. Look, it's my waist that I'm turning. This stays here. My waist. This is really kind of staying here. And then when I get to about here, the hips start to go forward a little bit, which naturally they would do because.
That's taking stress off the back.
Good.
I'm
Yeah,
feeling
you
that.
should not feel stress in the back. If you feel stress in the back, you're pinching something or you're twisting something, and let one of us know. We'll help you with that. So this should, even though it looks like, hey, this is crazy town, it should not hurt your back at all. If it does, time for modification and alignment help from one of us.
It's a good stretching exercise in the back.
Yes, it's a super good one. I love it.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, let's do our life skill. Path of self-mastery requires balanced emotions. Balanced emotions do not yield to negativity. The path of self-mastery requires balanced emotions. Balanced emotions do not yield to negativity. The path of self-mastery requires balanced emotions. Balanced emotions do not yield to negativity. Down to intermediate level students and students at home, black sash training dismissed. Good job, everybody.